Hello, my name is Brandon Burdick, and all of you probably once heard Marilyn Monroe's famous quote, "Good things fall apart, so better things can fall into place." I think this quote is a perfect description for what occurs after disasters because family, friends, neighbors, and even strangers learn that in the darkest of times, coming together to support each other and showing love to one another is a vital lesson that comes from tragedy. These heartbreaking, surprising, and devastating events brings out the inner personality of all. On October 31st, 2012, Hurricane Sandy struck the East Coast and left millions without power. Homes, buildings, and schools were crippled and destroyed. However, from this terrifying event, kindness was brought out by families, friends, neighbors, and strangers. For example, some neighbors were checking up on each other by making sure they had food and water. In addition, hotels were generously offering free rooms to the homeless. People may think chaos occurs after such events like these, but the willingness to help others in tough situations is astonishing. Moments like these, when disaster strikes, kindness comes out, and the community is like a painting of full cooperation. In the wake of disasters, neighbors and strangers help each other physically and mentally. An earthquake once shook the grounds of Japan in 1995. During those horrific times, Michinari Watanabe was a nervous son running around the city in panic. He was searching for a backup generator so he could keep his dad's ventilator running. With the help of a stranger, his dad was able to survive. Repeatedly, we see that in disastrous times, kindness and the help from strangers and neighbors comes out more often than we expect. When tragedy strikes, we come together as a whole. No matter what disaster occurs, people rise above the tragic events and bond together to cope with the mourning. Deaths in communities affect the families and neighbors like no other. Usually, communities recognize what has happened and hold ceremonies and prayers to get over the difficult time. Recently, Madison Smalls, an 18-year-old softball player at Broad Run High School, died from a rare bacteria. Here is a clip from WUSA 9 showing the community and surrounding communities showing their support and coming together to cope with the loss of Madison Smalls.
Family and some friends. And meanwhile, here at her school, students are trying to get back to a sense of normalcy. In a big show of support, Broad Run High School students and faculty wore pink today to remember high school senior Madison Small, who died Tuesday from Neisseria sepsis that can cause a type of bacterial meningitis. Her softball teammates held up a banner, "We play for number 24. The same hashtag and phrase is being used on social media. A teacher tweets showing our support for Madison. Neighboring Loudoun County schools also in pink.
As you could tell from the news clip, many people from different counties show their support through social media. Coming together as a whole, as a community, is a lesson that comes from disasters. I bet without the help and support of friends, neighbors, and even strangers, the family of Madison Smalls would have a much harder time coping with their daughter's death. Daniel Aldrich, a professor of political science, once said, "Really, at the end of the day, the people who will save you, the people who will help you, they are usually your family, friends, and neighbors." Disasters are horrifying and full of dismay, but that does not mean that everything that comes from them is tragic. With family, friends, and neighbors, we can learn that the ones closest to us are the ones that will help and recover what has been lost through disasters. Overall, where we live, whom we live with, and how we live will be vital in post-disaster times. Thank you.